Hello, hello to anyone who is watching, and welcome to Mrs. Best Reviews. I am Mrs. Best, and I'm here. We just gonna call him a regular co-host with James from the channel Watch Your Mouth Reviews 833 on YouTube. We are here to discuss Couples Retreat, which is now an MTV show, and we are here to discuss season 3, episode 3. And then after we discuss that here, you all gonna go follow us to James's channel and we will discuss episode 4. So just so everybody knows, I am winging it. I had a moment and accidentally deleted my own notes. So I'm just
we're winging this, and we ain't gonna be here long because it wasn't that much.
No, they're
She
really
got the easy episode. I got the bullshit. I can cuss on this channel, right? Yeah. I got the bullshit. She got the easy way out. So yeah, this should be a breeze for you because ain't but two things happen in this episode.
He said, "I do not have to watch my mouth on
Not on her
Mrs.
channel. I ain't gonna watch it. I ain't gonna watch it on my own channel.
I do. I have a filthy fucking mouth though, so this is the place to curse. But this episode, it looks like Kendra. I guess we'll start with Kendra and Young Jock. If I recall, she was talking to Shamari, trying to get advice from them. I don't know why anyone would want to go to them for advice, but she was trying to get advice from Shamari about Jock. She expressed that it's not that she doesn't want to have kids. It's the situation with him having.
No, this is what she said. This is what irritated me with her. She goes, it's not that, I don't want a family with him. I just don't want to bring another child into a broken home situation. And I was like,
it's not broken if you marry.
Why the fuck did you marry him in the first place if that was your concern?
I mean, that's pretty much every week that Couples Retreat has come on. And even prior to Couples Retreat, when I saw that Jock and Kendra were going to be on there, I was just like...
What irritated me with her, and we'll get into it in my episode because she said something that was just profound and just ridiculous. But what kills me about Kendra is that she is probably the most book smart, intelligent, maybe great at her job lawyer, but she ain't got no goddamn common sense, which is killing me. That is irritating me to my core because I just don't understand when you have literally Google and Yelp reviews of Young Jock that go from here all the way up to the mid 2000s, and you still married him, and you still decided to play in these shenanigans with him on Love and Hip Hop, and now you brought your ass all the way to MTV's couples therapy, all to say the exact same thing you were saying.
The same, it's literally same shit, different way.
I am so over Jock and Kendra. I over
think
them.
Jock and Kendra are, well, I think Jock is over it. I feel like MTV put them on Couples Retreat because MTV is also taking the show Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, which they are main cast members of.
Yeah.
And that is going to be premiering on June 13th, the new season. So
and yes, I will be recapping. Yes, we will be recapping that one.
We definitely are going to recap Love and Hip Hop. And we definitely is not going to watch our mouths.
Absolutely not, because I can already tell, judging who this cast of people is.
Yeah, Love and Hip Hop in general is just like the original good, guilty, ratchet pleasure, I think, for us all. But no, honest, back to Jock and Kendra on this show. Kendra expressing that, I already kind of knew. I'm like, why would you want the marriage and not the child when you have the career?
No. It's not even that. Why would you want the marriage with somebody who literally has cheated on every woman he has been with?
Every single one.
Every single one of them. He has 9 children. And you really thought in your mind that this was the grandeur of situations to be in and marry and potentially spend the rest of your life with?
She, even on Love and Hip Hop, about, I bet I've come this far. I just won't. You know what I don't get? And what I don't get is Kendra always tries to make it seem like things didn't start happening with Jock until they were like well into the relationship and marriage. But it's like, you had warning on Love and Hip Hop from Carly Red. You have Warning from one of his baby mamas, the one he has the twins with.
Yeah,
Warning from
Bondi Blue calls her grandma Jaws, and I can't even get past that because when I look at her, that's all I see is my cheeks. So it's like, yes, I see exactly what. But
I
her
can't
name,
do-
no, but Jock baby mama, Cedar,
Yeah, Cena.
Cena. I
Yeah,
said Cedar.
I like
Yeah, one
Cena.
of them.
I like her. She's crazy. I like crazy because I'm a little off, just a little off. So I like crazy.
That's that Gemini in you.
I
So that's
know.
the Gemini. That's the part of the Gemini that I don't get along with her. Because the fact that she said out her own grown ass mouth, I like Cena. For what?
She's good TV. I wouldn't kick it with her in real life at
I know
all.
you wouldn't. That's why I'm looking at you like,
But
why would you like somebody you wouldn't even kick it with outside of the situation she in?
yeah, I just like watching her because she's good to do something crazy on TV. So I'm
That's
totally
somebody you drop. That's somebody at the grocery store. You drop a jar of jelly on and hope they cut their foot.
drop. You know what, James? Drop a jar of jelly. Oh, he is rested. I'm gonna move on from
Yeah,
Jock and Kendra because I feel like
we being a dead horse, and I ain't
yeah,
gonna.
and
And I
it's the
just
same
decided I'm not even gonna cover. I am gonna cover it, but I'm not gonna cover
yeah.
all of their segment on here.
There's not much to cover, especially with the new episodes of Love
No,
and
it
Hip
wasn't.
Hop
It was
coming.
there was only one thing I wanted to cover with that, but we ain't gonna go too far into that because then we gonna
Yeah.
just be on your channel. So let's move
I
on.
feel like with Jock and Kendra, I lean away from talking about them too much just because it is the same thing every week. And they're going to be on TV in a few weeks, likely. And we're probably going to be hearing and having to discuss their relationship even more. So it's she needs to figure it out. Kendra, either you want to be with the man or you don't. If you choose to be with him and you know he has a million different baby mamas, a million different kids, and all of this stuff. You either got to choose to forgive him and move on or break up with him. You can't just constantly throw the
Yeah, if
past
he
in his
over
face.
at Cedar House, go. I mean, allegedly, I don't know. He might. I don't know. You just go on over there and just give her, some cupcakes or something. Say, "Good job, well done,
Shut
girl."
up, not some cupcakes. He's acting up today. The next person I guess that we could discuss would be I'll do Fat Boy and is it Tiana?
Tiana.
Yeah, Tiana. I don't know why I always forget her name. Uh
Now, let me do the disclaimer because I said they weren't one of the ones that were going to be they're probably going to be the least problematic.
yeah.
I lied heavily.
Mm.
So I want to say I apologize for saying that in the last video because them two, oh my lord.
They have a lot of problems. There's definitely she
One, I didn't
said,
realize they were that young. We'll get to it in my episode because that's revealed in my
yeah,
episode.
I mean, they're early 20s. They're very
Immature.
yeah, they don't when I was
Immature.
you think you know so much. Oh, I hate that I'm saying this now because I swore when I was younger I wouldn't. But you really do think when you're like in your early 20s, like I'm an adult, I'm a real adult, I know
While
this about the
simultaneously you
world.
doing childish ass shit.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
you get that
absolutely.
false sense of I'm paying bills, so I'm an
Hmm.
adult. And there's like so
Right.
much more that comes to it, especially individually. You could tell there's that disconnect. I feel like
No, the disconnect with them too. Let me explain what it is because at first I had to, I rewatched these shows, y'all, like at least 2 to 3 times because it's hard for me to pinpoint what I'm looking at because the problem with Fat Boy is he has the same thing as Young Jock's issue, which I said if you watch the first episode on my channel, I had said that Young Jock gives me that he probably didn't feel like he was the most attractive man in the room. So
he's
what he
not.
would do is to build up his self-esteem, he would go and sleep with all these women because that's what men, a lot of our misogynistic uncles taught us, try to bang as many girls as because they're gonna give you the confidence, and all this and that. And that's what messes us up. And so I think that when you get a certain age, you realize that's not true.
Mm.
And you start kind of not necessarily inhabiting those habits that you have, but more so you take them on as it's a natural thing to go out there and cheat. We'll
Mhm.
get to it more so in my episode of what he's actually doing because they touched on it, but they didn't touch on it enough in this episode.
Yeah. Yeah, this episode, that's the problem I have with these episodes too. I feel like they could pack more into them.
We really could have did 3 and 4 in one live,
It could have
but this
been
one
one
wanted to
panel.
separate the shit. So, 'cause I already have 1 and 2 on my channel. She could have took 3 and 4 from me, and we could have been discussing that, but she wanted to split it up, so she can't even talk.
No, I can't
Realistically,
discuss this for
yeah.
too
So I
long.
don't know why she brought them up, but I said, so is there anything else you want to say about that boy, Tiana, or did I cover it?
Um, they discussed a little bit. I know in the episode that episode 3 is where she found a DM from a female. They touched on it more in the episode you're going to recap.
Yeah, that's
But
what I said.
what
She
I
found it.
got
Yeah.
from that just early on is it seems like there's no trust in the relationship. And I definitely, I definitely feel like Fat Boy is going to continue cheating. I just don't,
Absolutely.
I don't see it. I don't see it stopping. I feel like a lot of those people who are extra flashy, worried about having the latest trends, shoes, clothes, all of those things, and especially people who have to be on social media. I mean, he's famous on Instagram. He's a social media person. It's hard. It's hard for him not to have the women constantly coming at him, and I think she has to understand that with what he does. But then at the same time, I don't feel like because of his career, he's gonna have the
I
time
don't
or
want to
the
jump
motivation to
ahead.
stop.
Yeah, I don't want to jump ahead because they talked about it in episode 4. I don't want to jump ahead because this go because I'm she ain't stealing my content, y'all. She making me do this, so she's not going to see. I'm not. I'm saving it for because I'm gonna tell y'all what it is. Come to Watch Your Mouth Reviews 883. Come to that channel, and then I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
exactly what happened because she's not gonna get me. See, we gonna jump ahead. So she deleted
No,
her
I'm just
notes, and
saying
now
because
she's
it's
trying.
a part of the episode, so I have to discuss it because
Yeah,
that's
to
all they
discuss it, but you're trying
show.
to go into detail of what
No,
they
no,
were
no, no,
doing.
no. That's all the detail that there is because
Yeah,
then it ends and it goes to the next episode. But from what I got from what they show, I don't. He's immature and she definitely doesn't trust him. But moving on,
yeah.
the next people, I guess, Breezy and
No, 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 no.
I never remember her
You,
name.
why is you missing a core part of this episode?
No,
It's
I'm just
Fallon.
doing the couples.
Go to Fallon and Jalen.
I was
Go
gonna
to
do
Fallon
them
and Jalen.
last.
Oh, you took you to last?
Yeah,
Oh,
they need to be last.
no. Okay, fine. Because I really wish you would have started. Because see, I gotta apologize about that too.
I cannot you. We just giggling. I'm trying to tell you. No, the reason I wanted to go over Breezy and whatever her girl's name is because one, I don't really have much to say on them. I feel like they gave just a tad more in episode 4, but in episode 3, they definitely did not really give much. I did appreciate Breezy checking Apollo, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering why it seems like Breezy is focused more on helping the other couples and being in other
Right.
people's business than
Mm-hmm.
she is with her own
Let me explain why
relationship.
that is. And see, and I told you in episode, y'all go back to my channel, episode 1 and 2. I discussed it. It is hard when you're the only LGBT community couple on a show full of straight people to really dissect your issues because your issues look minimal to
Mm,
what they're going through, and their issues are not minimal at all. I see what the issue is with them too. I'm going to
mm.
explain it more in episode 4 because of the encounter that happened on that with those two specifically. But what I will say, just to give it on your channel as well, just kind of give my input. The issues that they are having is that Breezy thinks she knows everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the issue that they're having.
Hmm.
Breezy thinks that she knows everything. And by Chris being so passive, it
Chris is her name.
overshadows.
I
Yeah,
cannot
Chris is
remember
her
his
name. Chris
name.
is her name. Yeah,
Okay.
because Chris is so passive in just her general just demeanor, it kind of overshadows that if she ever were to be right in a situation, Breezy will make her wrong automatically because Breezy knows everything. So that's their
Mm.
issue. But because everyone else's issues are so more like magnified, it's hard to really pinpoint that that is even an issue, but that's a huge issue. It's a huge issue to be in a relationship with somebody who thinks they know it all. And I
Yeah,
think that
that's difficult.
overall, huh?
It's difficult.
It's
It's
extremely
yeah.
difficult because you have to kind of understand from a standpoint you don't everybody does not know everything.
Mhm.
And it's very common. That's a very common issue in LGBT relationships is that
Yeah.
dynamic. So what they need to do is they need to find an LGBT coach that's going to point that out. I don't think
Mhm.
they did this season. I really don't. I really think that they're going to skate on by and not ever address that.
Yeah, that's what
But
it's looking like. They're kind of decorating them since Shamari and Ronnie are not able to be the senior helpful couple because they got their own so-called bullshit problems. The it seems like that's what they want for Breezy and them. I definitely feel like and have spoken in previous recaps. I don't feel like AJ is the right person to be doing this show. I like that they added is it Tony Gas?
Tony Gaskins, yeah.
Yeah, I like that they added him, and I feel like he is pretty much saving the important the things that these people need. He's giving to them. I don't feel like AJ is the right person for many of these couples this season.
I feel like the reason why she's not, and I agree with that. I feel like the reason why she's not the best person is because she's not coming into it with a unbiased opinion. I think she's coming into it trying to pinpoint who's wrong in the relationship when in effect they're both wrong.
Mhm.
Each person has a part into it. And she came off that way at first, but then it kind of led into she needed to pick something. She needed to pinpoint something, which I'm gonna get into in my episode because Breezy actually called it out, and I was appreciated that she did.
Mhm.
Because if you're really paying attention, you would have saw that. And I think that because she doesn't have much experience with LGBT couples specifically, I think that that's why she missed the mark and was trying to find just something on them.
I think that's a piece of it, definitely. I also think a piece of it is I think she needs to go back and refresh her training. Whatever training because I know that to become a life coach, they have to do a good amount of work. So I think she needs to go back and refresh it. I mean, therapists and psychologists every 2 to 10 years, depending on the type of license you have, they have to go and take classes to learn new ways of
New
communicating with
techniques,
people,
yeah.
new techniques. And I feel
Mhm.
like with AJ, from what I'm watching, that a lot of her techniques are outdated and they don't always land well. And if things don't land, then people are either going to say what they have to say to just move it on along, which I see Breezy doing a lot and other cast members, or they're going to act like say what they want you to hear to, they're going to find a way to move it along. Which couple, um, based on this episode, who should I go over? Shamari and Ron, do you feel like anything
They didn't just they were
significant
there.
there?
Yeah, they
They
were there, but
were
they were there, but weren't there. Like it
yeah.
was like, ooh, okay,
Our opinion to those watching on Shamari DeVoe and Ronnie DeVoe is they've been on this couples retreat. We're in season 3. They've been on every single season of the show. But then at the same time, while doing this show, Shamari's been doing reality TV on other networks, other things where things are presented as if they're fine in the marriage, which leads me and James to believe that there's some bullshit going on with
mhm.
what they're discussing. They either don't really have problems in the marriage or they need to separate. It's one
No,
of the
they
two.
have problems in the marriage. Is just not fixable. That's the issue. The issue that they have
I
in this
tried to
marriage.
be nice, James.
No, I'm sorry. This is I'm sorry because I told you, Amina, we should have did this in one live. I told you. So now you get the ramifications. It's not this is me punishing her. So now I'm gonna go off right now. So the issues that Ronnie and Shamari have are not fixable. The reason being is because whatever however many years ago this threesome was with their marriage, it is strongly affected Shamari in a way that I do not think in my honest opinion, and this is alleged, I really do not think Shamari is into men anymore. And I feel like she is really trying to hold on as much as she can because there's two things that's going on. One, the marriage, she feels like she is indebted to him. That is the issue. That's the first issue. The second issue is Ronnie is still in the spotlight heavily, and she is not. And that
Mhm.
is by choice. So because she could have came back to Real Housewives of Atlanta and got a friend of the show and try to build her way back up to being a main cast member the same way Portia did. So that's why I feel like the issues are not fixable because she's not wanting to bend and neither is he. So when you're not willing to bend, it's not fixable.
Mhm.
You have to be
Yeah.
willing to bend and you have to be willing to acknowledge that there is fault. But I think the main reason why it's not fixable is because allegedly, I don't think she's into men anymore. I really don't.
Yeah. I have a little bit of a difference of opinion. I think that what you're saying is valid and could probably be a reason. A piece of me feels like they obviously every marriage has its issues, cracks, whatever, but I feel like the issues they have are valid in what you're saying, but at the same time, I feel like they're doing all of this. It just feels like everything is for the check. So I don't really know what to believe with them because
Mhm.
you've done a show called Couples Retreat, 3 seasons in a row. It just doesn't. But then at the same time, while she's done this, she's done Encore, she's done some other reality TV.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying
She's
it,
performing with Black. So when she's complaining, like, oh, I don't want to just stay at home with the boys, it's very hard for me to take anything that I hear
no,
coming from
I
this couple for
I
face
feel like that's a
value.
valid thing. I feel like that's because he's gone more than she is. I think that that's a valid thing. But
But
what I'm
she's
saying,
also gone.
she's not gone as much as he's gone.
Yeah, but
Ronnie's
she
on
makes
tour
it
right now.
seem.
So that's why I'm saying,
Mhm,
I feel like she's had to put a lot of her life in the shadows for him. And when she
mhm.
tries to do something, I feel like he kind of just takes a hammer and just bangs it and says, no, do this shit gotta go back on tour. Sorry. We gotta go. And I feel like that's just what it is. I feel like she can't really have her piece of the pie as well. And that's why I said I feel like there's two different things going on. But in my episode, what I'm going to recap, they said it. So that's why I'm just like, and I'm not trying to go far ahead, which is why I kind of left it at kind of a
Oh,
minimal.
you're fine. We are almost done though. I'm not
Yeah. Mm.
taking long. I'm like, look, I'm trying to move it along. I have to write a paper later. Fun things, right?
Girl, I gotta eat, so you gotta come on.
Yeah. Anywho, who's the last couple? We went over Fat Boy, Kendra,
Well,
John.
you're forgetting about Paula and Shireen,
Oh, yes, them.
which more so they were on my episode too.
I'm
But
not even going to really discuss them too much. Breezy did address Apollo and his need to be in control and whatnot. I thought that, see, Apollo's been on TV before what people like to forget. And so I feel like he kind of knows when too much is too much and has kind of learned from things. So I don't know. That couple kind of bores me. I can't take Shireen seriously. I can't tell you
yeah.
why.
I think
Um,
the reason why we can't take them seriously is because we know fundamentally that relationship began as some bullshit that just ended up becoming true. So I think that that's the reason why we can't take them seriously because I know I can't. I'm
yeah.
looking at them too, and I'm just thinking, okay, so you just got comfortable, and she gives me that she was probably highly insecure before him, and then just ended up with him. So why go somewhere else?
She definitely was insecure because when you go looking in the prison for your man, that definitely
See, she said it, I
says,
didn't.
I'm I'm going to say it. Hell yeah, that's all they talk about week after week. That's all they can talk about. When you notice they discuss the relationship, everything goes back to prison. This man has been out of prison for some time. The marriage is new, but not him being out. So for me, talk about what's gone on outside. It's just I stand by what I say to those watching. I will hashtag WeTV and I will hashtag Love After Lockup because that show is blowing up for the first time. Finally, people are like, "What is this show?" So maybe with Love After Lockup blowing up, they can afford to pay Apollo and Shireen so that they can discuss their stuff properly there because it just it doesn't go. I don't really care to see Apollo separate from Phaedra either. So I've never really cared for him by himself. So that's all I'll say on that couple. The last people that we shall discuss is James's favorite couple, everyone.
Girl, if you don't cut that shit out, that ain't my favorite couple at
Miss
all.
Fallon Pina, aka Fallon Gobadia, whatever the hell name she goes by.
That girl,
And
that's Fallon Gubadia. She is still holding on to that shit as if it's. Let me explain. So now that she's mentioned, and Jay Lapina, y'all, Jay Lapina, I guess they have the same last name.
that's weird to me.
It is weird. Yeah, absolutely. So I want to apologize to Jalen because when he had said that he doesn't feel like on that they're on equal levels, finance is not what he meant.
No, not at all.
So I want to apologize because that's what I thought he meant when he said it. So now that he is giving clarification, Fallon, I need you to explain to me why this grown 23-year-old, 7 years younger than your ass, man, is taking care of your kids, your two sisters, your ass, and y'all baby.
And her mom or somebody.
Yeah, I think I don't see. I didn't hear
Somebody in the
someone else said
family
that
she's
to me too.
also caring for. I can't
I'm
remember
trying to
who.
figure out what where is your daddy? Where is your why is this man taking care of all these kids that are not obligated to him? He only
Yeah.
got one baby with you. So I'm trying to figure out.
See, I feel like single moms sometimes have unrealistic expectations, and they may not like hearing that for the ones that are like trying to date and stuff. Yes, the person that you're dating should respect your child, and we will hope grow to love your child. However, comma, they did not choose to bring your child into the world. You did. Therefore, I think that these women, I understand your child will always be important and you have to, put them in situations that they're safe and comfortable, especially when it's someone you're dating. They have to be comfortable with that person. That person has to be good with children, in my opinion. But that person doesn't have to be the one to pay for the college education of your kid, be buying them shoes and clothes and all of that
Yeah,
stuff.
when he
Like,
said that,
your
I was like,
child
that's
is your responsibility and no one else's. And my issue with Fallon is at first I was looking at Jalen like, what's wrong with this ninja? But then I'm like, oh my God, this is a 23-year-old boy, one, and he was just working a job, got cool with his boss who was attractive, a 23-year-old. Your boss is older and looks like Fallon. Of course he gonna hit. I feel like she, in
yes.
some ways, because of her issues with men, it definitely looks like when she was just like, yeah, I expect him to care for the kids and we have this. And I'm just
Yeah,
like,
and when she said that, I was like,
these
caring
aren't
for
his
the
kids.
kids and financially providing for kids are two different things.
Absolutely.
They are way two
Absolutely.
different things. Now, I do not mind the whole, buying them dinner and taking them on, like little outings and things like that. That's fine. I
Yeah.
feel like when you do stuff like that, that's fine. But when you're talking about raising
Right.
and like providing in that way where their fathers, wherever the fuck they are, should be doing and not, I just feel like there is rubber meets the road where family need to get up their mind right because I'm starting to look at her as, now I'm starting to look at her as the fault in Simon and her's demise. Like I'm really starting to look at her now because
That's
I
what I
feel
got
like
from episode 3. Episode 4, we'll get way more into it. But from
mhm,
episode 3, it made me look, I stopped feeling so bad for her.
I did too.
It's still shady what Portia and Simon did. That shit was trash. However,
Yeah.
I don't feel as bad for her because,
I don't feel like that was the only thing. Like a lot
and
of
then did
people
you
put
notice
the
she got with Simon, who's way older than her, but
yeah.
then now she goes and gets with someone Who's younger
way
than her?
younger. Yeah,
Like
so
what he
she's
did?
still no, you know what that says to me? That she's still in that mindset. So whenever we'll get to that in my episode because she revealed it in my episode.
Mhm.
But whatever happened to her, she stayed that age.
Yeah, she definitely
She
did. She
stayed that age. And see, and that's the thing that messes up her mind. So of course she has all these unrealistic expectations out of the partners and out of the men that she dates because of where she is mentally. I think Jaden was where she is today. Simon is where she wanted to be before.
Mhm.
That's how she ended up in those situations. So I just feel like when I heard that come out of his mouth and when I heard her response to it, I was like, see, now I'm about to rewatch those episodes of Real Housewives of Atlanta and really look at y'all dynamic and really see if I'm not saying Simon's right in any of this. I please do not quote me for that. I'm just saying there's more to that demise than Portia. That's all I'm
Oh
saying.
no, you could tell separate from Portia, her and Simon, she flipped out on that show over him. And it
No,
just
no, no, no.
wasn't
That's not
healthy.
it. That's not exactly what it was. See, and that's what a lot of you said what a lot of people she didn't flip out because of Simon. That was her immature. She was intimidated by that girl.
Yes, but either way, to think that you can go off on somebody like that over your husband for something so like if you
Yeah,
watch
that was
Marriage OA,
intimidation and
small,
embarrassment. Yeah.
immature way of thinking. That's something I would do at like 17. Not now.
Yeah,
So
because anybody like my at my grown ass age, that girl wouldn't even got in my house if I didn't like her. So I mean,
exactly.
that's kind
Exactly.
of where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
not everybody's like us. So
I mean, more people need to be, but then we wouldn't have shows like this.
right.
But I won't say too much on them. That was about it. That pretty much covered it. I just wanted to recap it because I had somebody email me like, "When are you gonna do a show?" So I was like, "I guess I'll throw something on there." That's why I did it. So I'm trying to listen to those who are subscribing. Speaking of subscribers, I finally hit over 100 subscribers. So thank you to those who are
I'm next.
supporting me. He is next. Please go subscribe to James's channel.
Right? Y'all stop being some stalkers and come and
We got
subscribe. I'm telling
playlists.
you.
We have playlists of all of your videos on my channel. He's easy to find. Just find him, like his videos, subscribe, whatever you can do to get the algorithm to represent him. We are now going to head over to his channel, which is on the screen now. YouTube.com/@ Watch Your Mouth Reviews.
I know it's gonna say 9:15, but we finna start this live right now because I got stuff to do. So
I got stuff to do too.
all right,
What's
so we're gonna
up?
start this. Y'all bring y'all behind to my channel now and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. All right, I'll see
Thank
you at
you
my
for
channel.
watching. Bye-bye.